I don't know where the whole professional ratchet, intellectual ratchet comes in. But those who know me know
I'm an intellectual ratchet, honey.
I'm intellectually a ratchet up here.
Hey beautiful people, it's Success Mentor Dante J. Worth, and I'm back with another video right here on Audacious Believer TV! Now, if this is your first time tuning in, I need you to make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure that you like this video. And make sure that you are commenting down below. Me and my team absolutely love to read your comments. Now tonight, or today, we're being joined by the beautiful, the fabulous, the goddess. Tell them who you are now.
Reenah Oshun Golden here.
I invited her here today to talk about taking control of your own narrative.
Control, yes.
Control.
Janet Jackson action right here. That's definitely fitting for sure. We talk about taking control of your own narrative.
It is. So before we go into that topic, just tell me a little bit about what is your story.
My story, born and raised here in Rochester.
Nice.
Yeah, and I moved away, came back, you know, I mean, I did some things, just went out, experienced the world. I'm a travel girl. I love to move, I love to be out. And so I started that pretty early on.
Nice.
But I came back to Rochester after some time in the military.
Nice.
And came back to Rochester, and I knew I wanted to stay in Rochester. I love the city.
Yeah.
So you know, it was kind of like, okay, so what do I want to do here?
Yeah.
I went back to school, went to RIT on my GI Bill.
Okay.
And I hated RIT a lot.
Listen, we still like Tigers.
Okay, go Tigers, whatever. No, but you know, it was just it was a little rigid for who I am, you know, and so so it was one of those things where, but I am somebody who sort of makes the most of whatever experience that you're having, and so so that you know, it definitely didn't discourage me. Just took me a lot longer, you know, to do it. I wasn't as focused, I wasn't as dedicated, but what it did was give me time to sort of see what I wanted to do in the community. I became very, very active in the community. I at the time I had a small child. So by the time he started school, you know, I got into his education and, you know, and just trying to make sure that I was creating a space, an environment, a home that would allow my child to become, you know, their authentic self.
That's good. So tell us
that was a thing.
Tell us a little bit about why you believe it's important to control your own narrative.
Yeah, one, I think that there's a lot of people that are just miserable because they are not. And I'm not one of those misery loves company type folks. I really do believe that people want to be happy. Yeah. You know I do. I know my default is happy. I wake up every morning pretty happy. Me too. You know, you know, I'm feeling right now. So yeah, so I think that's a piece that that helps. If you find yourself being swept away in someone else's narrative, that's probably the cause of a lot of misery. You know, and something that I feel strongly about. I'm living my authentic life. I raised my child to live their authentic life. I'm like, okay, so all right, so everybody around me, you know, I really want you to do that. So if there's something that I can do to help with that, I think it's important because I like happy people around me. I like people who are, you know, who feel good about themselves. And I think that is one of the things that makes the world a better place, when people are really free to be who they are.
That's good. That's good. So I know recently you were in a stage production called We All Right.
Yes.
In the Rochester Fringe Festival. And in that production, you all had your own story. You all had your own experience. Why do you think writing is important to helping shape your own narrative?
Oh wow. Okay, so the writing group, we're a group of 5 Black women. Yeah. We all write. Shout out to my sisters. We all write. We all write 5 dope women writing our stories, writing your stories as well. You know, that's what we're doing. But yeah, so the piece is called Birthright for a reason. The idea that one of the things that we're doing through writing, and those of us who are writers know that it feels like a giving birth process every single time. There's something inside you, whether it starts, somewhere in your mind, starts somewhere in your heart, spirit, somewhere. Everybody has that place where it starts inside them. But at some point you give birth to it. If you are living that fearless, authentic life, you want to give birth to that baby. And so that's why we call it Birthright. And I also work with youth in the areas of writing and creative expression, because I think that is, again, one of those pieces that allows you to control your narrative. It's really if you feel empowered, enough to tell your story, to write your story, to share your story, you're less likely to, veer away from that. It's like, true. This is who I am. This is what I believe about me. This is what I want to do with myself. This is what you get. Exactly. Okay. This is it.
This is who I am. This is why.
I don't know where the whole professional intellectual ratchet comes in. But those who know me know
I'm an intellectual ratchet, honey.
I'm intellectually ratchet up here. That's just, it happens,
Yes, I love it.
You bring it on back if we need to, or push it out there.
So I know that a lot of you dealt with heartbreak and a lot of breakups and love and all kind of different emotions. So for you, when we're telling the narrative, we're constantly worried about what other people's opinions are going to weigh in on our narrative. How can we block that out?
Oh wow. So that's a tough one, because there are so many norms in society that have been pushed into us about, how we love, the way we love, who we spend our time with, what makes that experience valid, and all of that. But I have a sort of a pleasure principle, and it even is about like the way I sort of conduct my life as a business. So that's the B part. And then with pleasure, I really do believe in, really sort of running my life like a business, but making sure that I'm cultivating
Secure
pleasure.
the bag and enjoy the spending.
And enjoy the process of securing that bag too, okay? Because that's what's gonna make it fun and exciting. And you let your path be driven by your passion.
Yes.
And then you don't have to be deterred by what other people think or say. And of course it's an everyday struggle. Of course when you are living that authentic life and it's pushing against what some other folks feel is the way you were supposed to be living.
Take them off. This is why I be no matter. Let me put this in the phone.
You know what I'm saying?
Just let them know.
Or let it down. Whatever you need to do with it.
Whatever you got to do with it. Let them know. So are you ready for it? Oh, go ahead.
So, but I will say that it's since it is an everyday process. It's like a moment to moment. Don't be deterred if you do find yourself kind of falling off, because you can always bring yourself back and be like, okay, who am I today? Yes. What do I want to do today? Yes. Where do I want to focus myself today? And then recognize those seasons. Those seasons. We don't mourn the seasons. We let them go. We let them pass. We let them move on out. Come on back. Come back around.
I feel like we're gonna get a little dance. Yes. So are you ready for rapid fire questions?
Oh, sure.
Yeah. She's like, what?
Okay. Well, all right.
Favorite book.
Take the coat off. Okay, should I stretch a little bit? All right, rapid fire. Okay.
Yes. Favorite book.
Oh man. Favorite book. Okay, Temple of My Familiar, Alice Walker.
Ooh, we love Alice. Hey, cousin. Oh. Yes. Favorite movie.
Woo, that changes all the time. Wow, this is supposed to be rapid fire, go. Love and Basketball.
Woo! It's all fair in love and basketball.
It's all fair in love and basketball.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Best piece of advice I've ever received. My dad. Don't try to control the uncontrollable.
That's good. That's tweetable. That's good. To be audacious means to be
authentic.
Yeah! Say it again for the people in the cheap seats.
Authentic.
Yeah!
To be authentic. Oh my God, you're making me so wild today.
I love it.
such a mild girl. I
love it. So tell the people where they can find you online, how they can support you.
Everywhere online in social media, I am Reenah Golden, just REENAH Golden.
Yes.
My actual name, and that's Instagram, that's Twitter, that's Facebook. You also can join the mailing list at avenuetheater.org.
We didn't even mention that too much, that she owns a theater. She got your money, okay?
Yeah. Currency, we like to refer to it as currency because you know it's not always green. It doesn't always spend in the way that you think it's supposed to. But we got currency, okay? We do have currency,
yes.
And we would love to, to collaborate with you, with anyone,
awesome.
on things that are about, about this community. If you about that community life, about that art life, come check me.
So until next time, remember that life is meant to be enjoyed and not just endured.